Hi guys, and welcome to the very first Let's Play on my channel. I'm Locase2 and I hope you're doing well. We're going to go through a new game today called Nightcore, which is available on Xbox Game Pass if you have that. It's a bit of a niche game, bit of an indie game, so we'll go through it to see what it's like. So in the background I'm just going to go ahead and set the game up. There we go, so we're going for the Judge, which is the first story we played on Balanced. And while this is loading up, I hope you are doing well. If you're excited, looking forward to this Let's Play, smash that like button, hit that subscribe for the videos as soon as they come out, and tick that bell so you get notifications straight away. So this game is set around the premise of you're a taxi driver in Paris, and I mean it's going to explain itself in a second anyway, but you basically had an attempt on your life. It's a pretty chill game. Love the artwork on it. So this is just the little intro to the game. Here? Sir, can hear me, or do I need to speak up? Yes, speak up. Is this okay with you? Is my voice loud enough? Yes, it's fine. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The judge, as the police called the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver, and in most circumstances it would have been fatal. We chose to put you in induced. Her voice becomes more distant. Fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move up your wound. Underneath the bandages you can feel hard skin. It's incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second, a very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head to no avail. The judge is a pretty interesting nickname for a killer, isn't it? You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care he's the only witness. Another female voice joins in, a strong authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make out what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realised that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later, Night 1. So that's the intro where, as I say, you're a taxi driver, you've dropped your passenger off, and the passenger has been killed by this serial killer, and serial killers also attacked you, which you survived. Now, it's our first night back at work since the assault. Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? Catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Sorry. I just want things to get back to normal, to clear my head, to stop thinking about it all. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know, I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know. I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to the old country. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left to me to hire the guys from the neighbourhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles, his voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? Points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for a few weeks, maybe you do need a little refresher. Now, I've played through this before, but we'll go through the little tutorial just to show you guys. Right then, well, first the map. You spot potential customers that try to guess where they were going, then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go and pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then, you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers and his voice trails off, searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. Alright, no overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. Yeah, no, that's not just in France. Nobody likes that anywhere. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak, and then... I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back. For you. We? Your colleagues. I do, too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. Gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Have a good evening. I almost went you and I Emery then. Good evening. The sarcasm in his voice is palpable. Right, you have a good evening too. He'll spend the rest of the night dealing with problems and drivers. You wonder how and when the guy ever gets any sleep. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you missed that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack, despite it all. And there we go, this is the map. As you can see, we've got the timer up in the top corner. You can zoom out and have a look around. I mean, we've got a cat down there. Fuel gauge, so you obviously have to fill it with fuel and your total money. I mean, let's start with a cat. Why not? Apparently I can't start with a cat. We won't start with a cat then. We'll start with this chap. So we've got Sophie and Mark Vetterini. And as you can see, that's the route they want to take, how far it is and what fare I would get. It can accept or refuse them. And basically you go through this with your passengers, you have a conversation with them and you try and pick up clues as to who the murderer is. You basically become a quote-unquote investigator. You stop in front of La Pierre, a famous Michelin-starred restaurant. Your next two passengers are extremely well dressed, expensively so. The man gives you an address and turns aside towards the woman. You start driving as they converse in the back, a conversation filled with moments of silence. And that's why I think you should do Jean-Luc's collection. Jean-Luc only wants me to do his collection to annoy you. And it's not working. I couldn't care less about Jean-Luc. He's utterly uninteresting. What matters is that he asked you to do his collection. It could be your big break. They speak in cordial tones, but you can hear other notes hiding behind the words. I don't believe I need you to point out what my big break might be. Jean-Luc won't last long. and I would just as soon not be on his team when they show him the door. You and I both know exactly how this works. A house like Jean-Luc's will never promote someone who comes from a beheaded team. True enough. Therefore, I'm not going to work with Jean-Luc. She clenches her jaw, giving her face a harsh and transient look for a second. As you wish. He doesn't budge like he's made out of stone. Yes, thank you. Silence. They look in opposite directions. Suddenly, the woman leans over to you. Could you please turn the heat up? I'm freezing. A warm breeze floats through the car. Silence fills the cab, but the two passengers ignore each other a while longer. Mark? His answer is a barely audible mumble. Yes. I think we should call it quits. Oh, okay. We're just having a break-up in the back of my taxi, why not? He slowly turns towards her. I was thinking the same thing. I'm tired of trying so hard, and even more tired of seeing you try so hard. You deserve better. He shrugs. You deserve better too. I've been out of sorts lately, stressed, filled with negative vibes. I barely recognise you. You're trying not to invade their privacy, but you can't believe your ears. The collection is finished. Let's take a few days to empty our place. I don't want anything. The artwork is yours. Yes, but if you want to hold on to them. He nods, and you wonder just who these people are in the back seat. Only if it makes you feel better. She makes only the slightest face. You've seen breakups in your cab before, but they usually come with a fair share of crying and screaming. I don't know. I like the art, but it was also a gift from your parents. I think they'd like it if you kept them. Perhaps. You swallow silently. The woman gives you a strange look, then brings her attention back to her partner. We also have to figure out what to do with our chalet in Courchevel. My pronunciation is going to be atrocious. I cannot do French. We could keep it and rent it during the ski season. Good idea. Silence once again. You feel like you're watching the World Championships of good manners. I'll call the lawyer tomorrow, if that's okay with you. Yes, that's an excellent idea. It's like each sentence is from a different discussion between different people, like actors reading through a new scene. I can ask Florence to handle my affairs. No, things are fine as they are. Florence is a lovely person, but I think it's better if we manage this on our own. She adores you too. The silence is back. It's calm, muted. The taxi is like a library, or a monastery. I think it'd be better if I slept elsewhere tonight. Come on, Mark. There are guest rooms. I know. He leans over to you. His voice is distinct and cold. There's a hotel on our street, right on the corner, if you could stop there. Mark, it's really not a problem. The beds aren't made. Plus it'll be easy for everyone. They look at each other. Whatever you want. It doesn't bother me, you know. Fine, do that then. A rather brutal pause ensues. Just move in a little bit. We'll cut that bit out. You can come get your things now if you want. It's no bother. He shakes his hand. Don't worry about me. More silence. You keep driving and say nothing. When you turn onto their street, you immediately see the hotel they're talking about. Luxurious is an understatement. Small, discreet, but luxurious nonetheless. You pull over. I'll call you tomorrow, around 10, so don't bother you. She smiles calmly. You won't bother me. Come by whenever you want. I'll call beforehand. Understood. He slips away without another word. You watch him as he climbs the steps of the hotel. He has a dignified air and slipped one hand into his pants pocket. You start driving. Only to pull over 50 metres further up. The building is just as luxurious as the hotel. The lobby is amply lit with a huge chandelier. Even the sidewalk in front seems to glow more brightly than the rest of the street. Your passenger pays her fare, her mind elsewhere. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. I'm terribly sorry you're forced to listen to our fight. Fight? That must have been frightful. We really have to learn to keep our act together in front of the children. She grants you the tiniest of smiles and gets out without saying goodbye. You watch as she enters her building lobby. For a brief moment she stops, shivers, and keeps going. You sit in silence for a minute and start driving again. So now we've got the choice between these guys. Again, I'm just going to go for the closest one. Try and build up that money while we're not using too much fuel and not losing too much time. Jackie Elizabeth. Hi honey, home please. It's a long trip. The door opens, your passenger settles in on the back seat. She's a regular, you know her address. Everything okay, honey? All good, Jackie. You've known Jackie for years now. A friend of a friend, a rather well-liked prostitute in your old neighbourhood. I hope spring's going to be warmer than last year because I can't stand freezing my ass off anymore. She's been working in the Bois de Boulogne for 2 years now. Every now and again, she treats herself to a ride home in a taxi. What's the latest news? You can tell Jackie anything. Almost anything, that is. Is your back better? You smile. It's okay, less painful. She's unconvinced by your lie. You can see it in her eyes. That bastard really did you, didn't he? Can I ask you something, Jackie? She leans forward. Anything you want, honey? You tell her about Lieutenant Brusset, about her threats and your mission. You got screwed again, honey. You're too nice. She sucks her teeth. You and the cops, you're going to have to go and see someone or start banging one. Jackie. Okay, right, you're the boss. I'll ask around. Some of my clients might know something. A pause. You know what's coming. You're expecting it. But fair's fair. The next ride is free, okay? You nod silently. You meet her eyes in the rearview mirror. Anyhow, take care of yourself, okay? You give her a smile. You know me. She looks pensive. Yeah, right, I do. That's the problem. You know, hun. She pauses, a thoughtful look on her face. Sometimes I wonder if I'm not in the wrong line of work. I should have been an innkeeper. You know what I mean? Have my own place, a dozen beds or so, something always simmering in the kitchen. Why do you say that, Jackie? Well, you know, business isn't so great these days. The competition is tough these days, especially with all the young Albanian girls they're sending in to bring down the prices. She lets out a long sigh of exasperation. Anyhow, I cook for my clients. They come to see me, you see. There's something hot to eat. It's not the Ritz or anything, but it's better than nothing. What do you cook? I don't make tinin lamori for them. The smell is too strong. You don't make what? Tintin lamori. I've made it for you before. It's a dish from Martinique. Cod, green banana, saucian. You ate it when you came round with. She was going to see your brother, but catches herself just in time. I make gratins and soups, dishes that can simmer while I'm working. I'll have to try something. Any time, hon. If you come by my apartment, it'd be a little easier. I could make you something sort of festive. You smile. You like the idea, but not right away. First, let me finish up business. Maybe after, when it's all done. Take all the time you need, hon. I have plenty of time to spare. She flashes you a smile. That reminds me, I haven't seen Aid for a few months. Do you know how she's doing? She's fine. I'll have to give her a call. You like talking to Jackie. With her, time goes faster. It flows more easily. A few minutes later, you park in front of her building. Thanks, hon. She hands you the fare and then exits the cab slowly. Damn back. She leans heavily on the cab for a moment. You okay, Jackie? Yeah, sure, honey. Don't worry about it. Just feeling my age, that's all. Luckily, I don't have a hall in to clean, right? Bellowing laughter fills the air. Anyhow, this time I'm really going. Your eye follows her as she enters the building. She waves one last time from the entrance. You wave back, then start the cab. Now there's a little bit of a bug in there almost, as we're about to find out. The door opens suddenly and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? For a second you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you, her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital, something that already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks I've been saying to myself that there's something off about you, something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, buggered all my fellow cops about it because I was sure you lied to us. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I just can't picture it. She squints, like she's trying to make you out from afar away. Like you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough a stretch for my chief to start going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17. An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name, your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say. If they got word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes and narrowing. My chief wants to go to prosecute her with her first and last name, with evidence. Actually knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So I'll give you info, victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet, keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman, you're just here to get me more information. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 4 days, just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me, does she know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, you cover your tracks well. What if I refuse? If you refuse, simple. I turn you in. I send your picture into all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put on house arrest, spending nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial on the way? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that terrorist. She smiles. Let me tell you, with a face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life, with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me, and neither can you, right? Nope. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut. You saw your own insides, you were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumours, you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and frees it. Oh, right. And don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. Fucking bitch. Yeah, whatever. If that makes you feel better. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running, radio on, crackles, you turn it off, start driving. Talkative passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. So she's given us 6 clues basically, which we can see at the end of every day. So this is our little apartment. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Buster gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of... Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into this situation. A bus goes by, making the wall shake. You sigh and get to work. So we can investigate all of these. Obviously we still have some time time limit basically. So it shows you up in the top corner exactly how long it takes. So if we look at the killer case from Bussett, it's then giving us 4 more clues. So if we go up to the board, we can see these clues. So if we look at the autopsy report, and we'll just go through these, get as much information as we can before time runs out. There we go, so we can actually unlock all the clues from Bussett. And as you can see, they start to then link to whoever. So if I hover over Pierre Bataz, height 1m70, he's a cop, dad was a cop who died 2 years ago, mum got health issues after a health scandal, he's gay, in a relationship, and never disclosed it at work. So, I mean, he's got them 2 pieces of evidence, he's under 180, the mesh on the crime scene could fit that. Paul Marie Frangadard, retired cop, joined the police in 1990, he's under the height, he's got the gun that was used from the 70s, obviously he was in the police force at that time. Divorced from a judge, bled only 2 for him. Claudia Campos, medical examiner, escaped from Argentina when she was young, lost her parents to the Argentina junta. Again, age and one of the crimes he messages fits. Selim Wadan, he's a lawyer, fits the height. And one of the messages. So they've all got 2 clues at the moment that link to them. And then we've got a couple down here that don't link to anybody. So if we pop them, sort of like that. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the pastures, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed, your body aches and you're in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. It looks awfully empty. And are you sure this is the best? It's too soon to say. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. A second later, you're asleep. You open one eye. It's pitch black outside. Time for work. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside your studio. And that's where we're going to end episode 1. So thank you very much, guys, for coming by for this. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have done, don't forget to smash that like button up there. We're up there now. We're aiming for 20 likes. If we get 20 likes on this video, I will be incredibly happy. Let me know in the comments who you think so far the killer is and what you're thinking of this game. This game I'm looking to make part of a series which will be out every Monday and Thursday for the next few weeks. That may change, but at the moment plans are Monday and Thursday. So thank you very much for coming by, guys. Don't forget, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and ring that bell. Until next time, I'm out. See ya.